Howdy, y'all. We're Group 11, and we're pitching the idea of the Blade Walker. Now, in terms of background research, there are approximately 6.5 million people in the United States who use crutches and other similar assistive devices. Every year, there are about 141 million emergency room visits, 15% of which are for lower leg injuries, which are the type of injuries that you would require the short-term or long-term use of crutches. It is for these reasons that crutches are an important invention in our society, so we must keep improving to ensure comfort and no further injury to the people who use them. Sadly, anyone who has used crutches in the past can tell you about the many issues they have run into. For example, pinched nerves, shoulder discomfort, poor posture, lack of adaptability to a diverse range of terrain, and exhaustion with use. The goal of our design is to address these pressing issues. As biomedical engineers, we strive to create a device that best services the user in a way that allows them to get back to their normal function in the smoothest way possible. The way we decided to do this was prioritizing shock absorption and comfort to create a design that was as easy on the user as possible until their recovery. Now on to the user needs.
So for the needs statement, the purpose of this device is to alleviate problems in modern crutches such as discomfort, restricted mobility, and limited adaptability by offering a diverging perspective on stagnant crutch design. These issues will be overcome by a curved, dynamic, and adjustable design to service a diverse range of individuals. Here are the user needs and design inputs. First, the crutches needs to be accessible to users of most heights. Therefore, we added extension to the upper section of the crutches so they can fit the height from 4'11" to 6'8". Convenient storage should be available for users to free hands, so we introduced mesh storage sleeve that can hold small personal items like keys, cell phones, and wallets. Substantial shock absorption is a key feature to reduce strain on user, so we came up with a curved bottom design with the larger surface area than the peg foot of traditional crutch. The crutches needs to be stable on majority of terrain types to minimize fall risk. Therefore, bottom of the crutch will have a rubber texture to increase friction. While the customers look for affordable products and the manufacturers want low production cost, we plan to reduce the cost through the use of cost-effective materials such as aluminum and lightweight carbon fiber. For the need to provide shoulder comfort to extend duration of use, we plan to use a forearm-based design. And last but not least, the crutches need to be accessible to users of most arm length. Therefore, we add the extension at the sliding section between the handle and the pad, spanning from 9 to 12 inches.
For our Q matrix, this is what we used to help decide what our final design was going to be. We had two designs that we were deciding upon whilst comparing them to the traditional crutches that we have today. We named them the Blade Walker, the forearm version, and the Blade Walker, the underarm version. In this case, we did end up going with the forearm version of the Blade Walker. Based on our user needs, we had 7 criteria, which are shown on the left-hand side of the Q matrix. For our first criteria, we had adjustable between the height of 4'11" and 6'8". We had an importance rating of 8 for that. For our second criteria, we had storage capabilities. We had an importance rating of 2 for that. For shock absorption, we had an importance rating of 10. For surface compatibility, we had an importance rating of 7. For cost effectiveness, we had an importance rating of 5. For comfort, we had an importance rating of 9. And for arm length adjustability, we had an importance rating of 3. When adding up all the importance ratings in the end, we had a total of 19 for the forearm version and a total of 10 for the underarm version of the Blade Walker. This is after we decided which version had a better than baseline importance scaling in comparison to the traditional underarm crutches, or if it had a worse than baseline importance rating. And this is how we decided to go forward with our forearm design for the Blade Walker. Now on to the risk analysis matrix.
Here's the risk analysis matrix we decided to model our DFMEA off of. For severity, we created a scale from 1 to 5, 1 meaning that the device does not cause any harm to the user, and 5 being that the device is very harmful to the user. Similarly, for occurrence, we also created a scale from 1 to 5, 1 being rarely slim to none in occurrence, and 5 being very occurrent. For detection, we also created a scale from 1 to 5, 1 meaning extremely hard to detect, and 5 being easily detectable.
So this is the DFMEA for our redesigned crutch. You can see the 6 main risks we've identified for our device on the left side of the DFMEA. Those being how much weight the crutches can bear, the ability to perform on various terrains and stairs, sterilization, wrist injuries, a compromised range of motion, and the corrosion of our chosen material. I'll go over one row since all the risks follow a similar procedure to the first row. The potential failure mode of weight bearing is the lower half of the crutch snapping or breaking due to the force being put on it. Seeing as crutches are meant to stabilize the user, a crutch breaking and having the user fall is a severe issue. Thus, we rated it a 5. The most probable cause we decided is due to heavy class individuals using a product that was not made with that factor in mind. As a result of this, we decided to rank occurrence a 4. Our team decided the best design control for this issue was to do stress testing at different forces that could be caused due to heavy class individuals. This is a good way of detecting issues and allows us to a clear way to solve this issue. Thus, we decided to give detectability a 4. Multiplying all those numbers together gave us an RPN of 80, which is clearly not good. The action we took to reduce the RPN was to introduce different models for different weight classes. Our team decided that this would work, so occurrence went from a 4 to a 1, and detectability went from a 4 to a 2. Severity would not change because if this new idea were to be implemented, falling would still have the same effect on the user as it did before. These changes to our RPN made it drop from an 80 to a 10, which is a very serviceable for this risk. And looking at platforming, we did not make any changes because we felt that the RPN was fine enough for the product. Same to sterility, as well as our aluminum material. But we had a similar procedure for the arm grips and the range of motion to weight bearing to reduce the RPN number lower so that the product would be serviceable in all of its risks. Now that we've looked at the DFMEA, it's time to look at the final product.
Here is our final design. This design was created on SolidWorks, and here are some of the notable features we included. The curved bottom design will create a smoother stride that will conserve energy and prevent exhaustion. We designed a forearm-based crutch to ensure that there is no pinched nerves and that there is no shoulder discomfort for the user. A big component of our design was to make sure there was no poor posture. We did this by including adjustability in our design. There are also 2 features of our design that can't be seen in the diagram. There will be a small pouch on the side of the crutch made for storage. It is designed to hold small items such as keys or your phone. The crutches will also have rubber footing that will create acceptable friction in all types of terrain.
Here are the references that we used in the slides. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you so much for watching the presentation on the Blade Walker. Have a nice day. Bye.